he's sleepy and he wants me to sleep with him. And then he look at me with a seduction eyes. I think our planet is a planet for seduction. You are muted.
Yeah, great. And do you think this change across cultures, countries?
I think it is change the way, but seduction in the men thought about seduction, no. But the way I stay with Maasai people is a really poor people like Indian in Africa, and then the beauty is took off the teeth, and he liked me so much, and the page of the tribe um, speak to me. Oh, I can took off your teeth because it's so beautiful for free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
definitely
different.
it's really, really different. uh, and what about you, Vic? Please introduce yourself. And how do you define seduction? Do you think this change across countries, cultures?
Hello, Leo. Hello, girls. Good evening. My name is Victoria. I currently live in Florianopolis, but I'm from Goiânia. I'm also a host here on TNT on Thursdays. And about seduction, I believe that seduction is an ability, a way that people use to make other people pay attention in you. And in certain way, they use this ability to convince and try to make people do what you want them to do, but not in a bad way. But for example, Vanda's cat. The cat wanted her to lay down and to sleep with it. So the cat was trying to seduce her to convince Vanda to do what it wanted her to do. So I guess it can be used in so many ways, but mostly when we talk about seduction, I guess people thinks that is exclusively attached to sexual stuff, but it's not. And I believe for sure that it changes a lot between cultures because for every culture's seduction or beauty, for example, is something different. Like many years ago, a beautiful woman, for example, was considered a fat woman because she was healthy, because she had food and stuff like that. And these days, from culture to culture, it changes a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I was think about it right now because we use it to think that beauty related with thin people. And some years ago, it was the totally opposite.
Yeah.
And what about you, Belle? Please introduce yourself. And how do you define the seduction? And do you think this changed across the countries?
Yeah, so good evening. I'm Belle. I'm from Fortaleza. Nowadays I live in Salvador. I'm 28. I work like an air traffic controller. And yeah, about seduction, I think I have the same conception like Victoria and Wanda. And I think that's the main problem when you talk about the seduction. It's that misconception when you just stretch the word in the sexual way. Yeah. And I think we can apply in the another kinds of of situation, like Wanda said, because for me, I can be seduction for the nature, for example, or yeah, about my day or about something. It's not just in the sexual way. And yeah, we can apply the word in another conceptions. Yeah, it's not just in the one way when you try to use the another person for just um, bring attention, like Victoria said. But I totally agree with her. Yeah, and I think the best definition is when you try to use your ideas or different your conception about something, and you try convince another person about something. I think it's that, and I totally agree. And it's depend of the cultural. It's totally cultural. Yeah, like Wanda bring a good example, because sometimes for the culture to be a seductive person, it's when the person are brave, like took off the teeth, or to do something like to, I don't know to say, but burn your skin, for example. I don't know, and I think that can be something like that. But for our culture, like in Brazil, it's like to take care about your body, about your, yeah, I think it's that.
Yeah, and it's not just something sexual, because if you really want to seduce me, you have to give me some food. So eh, this
How
is
kind of food?
It's the best way.
Yeah.
yours. So it's definitely it's not something sexual. And something really important that when I think about it, seducing, it's language. To me, it's something, as I said, you really want to um convince convince yeah, you understand me. I forgot how to say this word. But in your body, your word seduces someone in some way. So I really want to know from you, Belle, how do you think body language um, is important in trying to be seductive or
Yeah, I don't know a lot of techniques. I never read some book about that because I think that there are a lot of books, yeah, to teach us about seduction, but not just about seduction in the sexual way. Like I said, it's just when you try to convince another person about something. And I think when you have a conversation in the personal way, yeah, in presential way, you can look for the eyes for the another person, for example, during your talk. I think that can provide connection between the person. Yeah, I try. Yeah, I think it's the best way. But when you talk about in the sexual way, maybe the person try touch another person, or yeah, use another techniques, because I don't know. And I think it's a little particular. Yeah, it's different way. But for me, I think it's look for the eyes of another person. It's a good way to have a connection. But it's not the when you talk about the body, it's about the ideas, connect the ideas. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I was reading a book. The name is Tete, Conversar, Falar, Emocionar. And in that book, talk how body language is important, how the way we talk is important, because we can say a lot without any words. So even before you talk, you have an expression. So your body talks a lot. it's really, really nice when I was reading that book, because I was just think, Jesus Christ, it's really hard, because sometimes we start to gesture and it's everything wrong in some way. It was really nice to read that book. And what about you, Victoria? Do you think that body language is important in some way to seduce?
In my opinion, body language is one of the most important things in the game of seduction. I guess we have a pretty general idea of what seduction is between cultures, but like Belle said, is particular to each person, because what I find seductive in someone, you may think it's not. So it's pretty particular, even though the cultures difference a lot, like the teeth, like some culture, they make tattoos and some other stuff. But it's very important, like you were saying, the body language about you raising your hand, you start talking with your hands, and the way you smile to the person when somebody's talking, for example. We all here, I can look in everyone's expression, we all here have a small smile in the face, we're paying attention, we're nodding. So you're not talking anything, but we do know that what you're representing and trying to communicate to each other. So it's very important. And yeah, I believe that's it.
Great. Yeah. And I think, as you said, we are here, we are talking, and we are not we are just listening, but we can imagine a situation when someone is listening us, like that we know that we are not someone interesting, that
Yeah.
people are not care about what we are talk about.
Yeah, and just let me add something that's so sad and boring, I'm gonna say, because there are some immersions. It happens that, okay, we're talking in English and we all tired after work, okay, but the person just schedule immersion and we're talking and the person doesn't even look to the screen and doesn't pay attention to the other's answer. We're not here just to talk, but we have to practice the listening, because what Belle says, Wanda and you, I have so many things to add, to agree or disagree. And it's important to, in any kind of communication, to listen carefully. And I think for me, that's a very important point. And it's a kind of seduction, because the person is paying attention, so you pay attention in the other hand, so you keep a conversation eye to eye, so you pay attention in the details, like the person is changing the hair, doing something. You can see if the person is anxious or not by the body language. So it's very, very important.
Great answer. I totally agree. And what about you, Wanda?
I add something for all the earth, like a body seduction for animals, like birds, like dogs, like fish. Like there is a fish, it's a small fish. They construct a beauty garden for seduction the fish female, and the female get a little bit up and see him when he do this garden. It's beautiful. I do. And for mantas is a huge fish, and he get a dancing, and she go up and down and dancing, and the males go down and up too. And the most beautiful dancer, seduction hair. I think body language is for all the inhabitants in the earth.
It's
Like flower seduction, the bee. Our planet is for seduction. Our planet.
yeah, it's in all nature. It's incredible to stop to think about it. It's all related. And Bell said that it's something really individual, and I totally agree. But there are some stuffs that uh, can influence us in some way. For example, movies, social medias. Um, how do you think this can influence our relationships in some way? Because sometimes we start to think that, oh, I deserve a king, a princess, and because I'm gay, okay, and a- and in the real life, it's not like this. We are a human being. We are a pretty common person. So sometimes uh, we use it to use so much social media stats. We start to focus one way to be seduced or one type of body to seduce us. And it's not that good. So, Wanda, do you think that a movie, social media influence in some way, um, how can we be seduced by someone and or relationships?
I think like fashion, for example. The fashion is for seduction. And this time you need to put a kind of dress, of, I don't know, of makeup to seduction. I think it is not a bad thing. I think seduction is for life, for all our planet. I think it's good. If you see the movie and you get seduction by this movie, and oh, I want to act like this guy. Okay, it's funny. Go ahead, act like that, and get your mind, health mind, but act what you want to act. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's just really hard because that's not real. It's just a move. But
But
yeah,
just for fun, it's okay. Go ahead. Life is for fun.
yeah, it's good. A good time. And what about you, Vic? What do you think about it?
You're
You
mute.
are Vic?
I was muted. I didn't see. So I guess it's very complicated to get this comparison of movies and social media because as we spend so many times in front of our cell phones and computers and even the television, we begin to mirror stuff in our life, stuff that it's not real, like movies, for example, everything's pretended because it's a movie. And in social media, we only see what the person wants us to see. So we see like 1% of the life. And even that 1%, the person can be pretending stuff that it's not really real in their daily lives. So I guess seduction for me, the first thing that comes to my mind is something that is very confident about themselves, and the person do know what he or she is, and do know what he wants, and do know what he thinks, and doesn't, it's not like it doesn't care, but it doesn't make any difference if other people think or don't think about them. So for me, it's that.
Yeah, it's something uh, more about the personal. It's not something external. It's something inner of.
Yeah, I guess it's the details, but not only, it's not about, oh, I'm gonna be very incisive about myself or something like that, but it's the details about the personality of the person. Like the person doesn't try to change the little things to depending on the audience. For example, I'm here the same way I am in my house, in my work, in my immersions, and my values and who I am and what I think doesn't change between other people. So for me, it's the main point.
Jesus Christ. And no, Jesus Christ, because it's terrible when we are with someone that isn't real. The person just pretend to be someone to stay with us. It's not good. And what about you, Belle? How do you think that movies and social media influence in the game of seduction?
Yeah, I have the same point of view. It's not just about seduction, but when you talk about the social media or movies, for example, I think the big problem is when we start compare our real life with another virtual life. Yeah. And the big problem is when we start to compare with that, because in the screen, in the virtual way, you just see what the another person wants to show for us. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know the questions about it, but I'm trying don't compare my my life with that, and I think that's like Victoria said, it's pretend. Yeah, the most part of the time, the virtual life, it's just one way to show about the more perfect life. Yeah, so I think it's that can be hard, and besides that, I think the best way to seduction someone is when you have interesting life or real life. Yeah, and when you take care about yourself, when you grow up, when you improve yourself all the time, you will seduction the correct person, I think. Yeah, because when you pretend something, you will seduction, but it's maybe it's a quantitative, it's not a qualitative, and you need to think about your purpose. Yeah. I think is that for example, my purpose is not to be an influencer or blogger. It's so far that, and yeah, we need to take care about that. And I think there's a movie about seduction. It's like a 10 rules to get someone, but it's a history. Yeah, it's not real. I think the, the it's Will Smith, the actor. I don't remember, but there is the movie. Yeah, and but that's it. I don't believe that. Yeah, I prefer to be a real and to show myself and improve that. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what you said about the movie and mind just think about this movie, but I don't remember
Yeah, I don't remember too, but
the
I know
name.
there is
It's
a
with
movie.
Will Smith.
Because when I was a teenager, I have a lot of friends that use that movie to get a girlfriend or something like that. I remember.
Yeah, and the movie they teach how a boy can be more attracted. And Belle, do you think that uh, is it possible we became a more charming, attractive person, or do you think it's something really natural? It just happens.
I think there are both cases. Yeah, I prefer the natural way, but for example, the woman have a lot of techniques for that, I think. But yeah, I think the both cases are possible. But for example, at the work, when you talk about seduction, we can show um, your different skills, yeah, comply your deadline, something like that, to be a postury person and the different meetings or expose your conception or new ideas about something. You can show your seduction, the work. Yeah, and I think it's possible when you have a different action for the company, and you are when you can be a respective person too. Yeah, I think it depends. Like I said, it's a particular because, for example, if there is someone interesting or motivated about the work, your posture, you will attract that person. Yeah, it's depend about the hobbies or I don't know explain that, but it's possible, and I believe that both cases are possible.
Yeah. Uh, I was I was think about my job because I work at home office. It's just this. And when I thought about it, I just okay, how can I be more attracted attractive in my job? So how can I express my ideas in a best way? Uh how can I deal with the deadlines? And it's really hard because it's I think it's harder because as I said, it's just this. Um, I don't have the rest of my body talk. It's just my face expressions and what I am talking. So I I have a lack of misunderstands because of this. Do you want to say something, Belle?
No, it's just a kidding. I would say you can try put a virtual background or something like that, like a filter. But it's just a joke. It's a challenge. Yeah, I don't know how you can show or seduce someone in the virtual way like that in the workplace or workstation. It's a little hard, but I think it's possible. I don't know, but maybe it's possible. Victor, I think Victoria, there's a type about that. Please, Victoria, bring
Yeah,
it for us.
I want to add something about that. I also work remotely, and that's very hard. In my case, I began working in the office, and then I moved to another city, and now I work remotely. I don't know if you work a lot of time like this or if it's recent, but I guess seduction works walks pretty close to the way we communicate, not only with our body language, but in our real words. And what I was talking about, the ability to listen to other people and like it's very hard to make connections when you work all day inside your house. It's very, very hard. But I guess one of the ways to try to make deeper connection and make people pay attention in you is like to make a icebreaker, for example, in the beginning of every meeting, like here we introduce ourselves, we joke and speak about something that it doesn't have anything to be about the work, the work talk and a meeting, for example, but try to make the people feel comfortable enough to just to release a little smile or laugh or relax. And the way you communicate and the way you, it's very hard because we have to pay attention a lot in the beginning, because each word, as we're very far from the other person, each word makes has a lot of weight. So we really have to think the best way to communicate for the other people, they don't feel uncomfortable and their attention in you. It's hard to keep people's attention when you work remotely, because a lot of people doesn't even open the camera. It's very hard. And a lot of people who opens the camera just mute the reunion during all times. So it's a challenge, but I guess there's a few ways to use seduction and communication to make you feel more comfortable and more heard by the other people and respected, because if people hear you and they pay attention in you, they will respect you more in work and in life.
Jesus. Yeah, exactly this. Because some I was here just taking notes because it was something really nice to listen and really important, because sometimes we really don't know how to deal with this. It's really hard. We spend a lot of times in meetings. Sometimes we're tired, and sometimes we have no more patience with anyone. So how can we deal with this? How can we make the meeting more comfortable? So Varya said it's exactly about it. Okay, they will respect me because this is a comfortable place. When I'm talking, they know I know what I'm doing because I know how to communicate this. So it was amazing.
Yeah, one tip that I always try to bring to my immersions and also to the work is when you really pay attention in what people say to you, and the next time you see them, you ask about something they said about not only their personal lives, because some people at work doesn't like to talk about personal life, but something that the person was dealing at work, and you see them a week later, oh, how was it, the meeting? How was your report that you had to write and stuff like that? Because most of us, we have so many stuff to do and people don't really pay attention in each other anymore. So it's very nice, and it's kind of rare when people really listening what you're saying, and it's not, how can I say, it doesn't matter for them, it's not their problem, but the people who is really listening is really paying attention. So it's very nice to care about each other.
Great. And what about you, Vanda? How do you think you can be more attractive in your work?
I think in my work I need to pass a confidence, because I'm a dancer, and the people give me many questions, and I need to answer with a totally confidence that one can do this, and I can answer again, and I can answer for the the relatives of this person when they get a surgery with me. And I think in seduction, we have a natural seduction, and you can improve about. You can improve our skills and get more confident. And confidence, I think, talk about seduction. Because if I talk with a true, verdadeiro, I forgotten, I'm truly, I don't know, verdadeiro. Truly, I pass the confidence that my statement is truly, people pay attention to me because I talk with confidence. I think the key for the seduction is confidence.
Yeah.
And even in your tone of voice, right, Wanda, the way you speak like this, you doesn't, because there are people, I am much shy, and sometimes I speak lower voice. And when I want people to pay attention in me and to pass some credibility, I have to keep a voice up high and linear.
Yeah, yeah. You don't need to scream, no low, no up. Yeah, in the middle, and with getting contact eyes contact. Yes, many things.
Yeah, sometimes I just remind myself to open my posture because
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
because we start to feel with no air, so we start uh to to s- to talk with uh slowly and with no force. So when I'm like this, I know that I can breathe. Know I have air inside of me, and I can talk. I can sing it, and
yeah,
without any problem. So, and here I'm in a confident pose. If I'm here,
yeah.
yeah, girls, I'm here again. And
Oh,
so,
time flies.
We came back.
Oh,
yeah, so it helps us a lot. So, welcome again, Andrea. How was the
Hi,
conversation in your room?
very nice. It's a difficult topic to discuss, in my opinion, because I am married since 2007, so I don't know how to seduce someone anymore. Just kidding, guys. But it's really good, the conversation with Nayara and JJ. Very nice.
Great. And what about you, Alex? How was the conversation for you?
I had a history. Can I share with you?
Of course. I really love
Please,
histories.
please. I meet a girl on the app of dating, and she lives in Minas Gerais, but I live in São Paulo. And we talking for 10 hours uninterrupted. And in the next day, I bought the ticket and I went to visit her. My friends say that I had gone crazy and that she could be a mother and would cut your parts of her body and sell them. But I only go to know the people, and we have a good time together. And that's the story.
Yeah, I have to say that we all here needed to learn with her how to seduce someone because she really knows. And I really think that she needs to use this in her career because we we were here to talk about how to be more attractive in your careers. So we share some tips how to be here in remotely way working, how our posture can help us, how the way we communicate can help us. So there are many tips that are attractive in a really positive way in your workplace. So last question for Wesley. Uh is uh is it something that we can learn or it's something really natural, Wesley?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Is it charm, attraction something really natural, or is it that we can develop? We can learn about it. How to be charming, charismatic.
The seduction thing, the skill itself.
Yes.
I think we have this, and we need to develop as well, because we humans, we are social, you know, and we need to communicate, to speak with someone. We need to convince someone to buy something. So we need to have that skill, you know. When we are working, we need to show our work, you know, the value that we are delivering. So I think it's the both things, you know. It's the both things. We need to, we born with that, but we need to develop that as well. I think that's it.
And yes, like any other skill. So guys, I shared with you the link to our survey. So please answer this. And guys, that's it. It was an amazing conversation. And I really hope to see you here again next week. So have a great weekend and bye bye, guys. See you.
Bye bye, Leo. Bye bye, guys. Thank you.
See you.
Bye bye. Thank you.